Welcome to another episode of the Roughly Related to Reselling podcast. My name is Perry Phillips. Follow me on Instagram at Perry Flips with the Z. You can also follow our eBay store, which is Flips and Giggles. That's also the Whatnot username. We do live shows every Wednesday night at 8:30, so we try to keep it consistent. I took a couple weeks off. Obviously, I didn't put the podcast out. I was already contemplating taking a break from the podcast. It's the time of year when like there's not a lot of new inventory coming in. I was trying to take a little bit of a break anyway because I went hard in the paint. And then obviously my mom died, so I was like, let's take some time now. So I, at the time when I did my last podcast, I just had thought that I was going to continue to do a podcast. So that's why there was like no notice. And then I was still sick. I keep thinking I'm getting over being sick, but I'm like, you can kind of hear it in the back. I feel like I have a sinus infection or something. I might have to go to the doctor. I don't know. But I was blowing my nose the other day and it was like liquid was coming out of my eye. Not like liquid, just like, my eye started watering, like tears. So it was like something's backed up there. So yeah, just been fucking sick, trying to get over being sick. My daughter just went back to school after break. I'm like, she's definitely going to come back with something new because she was the first one to get sick. And then she was, she's been fine. She kind of has this weird cough that won't go away. It's just like she's like clearing her throat. So I don't know. We're thinking it was because of the dog. Like she might be allergic to the dog, but I'm pretty sure it was before the dog was even over here. Like I'm pretty sure she's been doing that. And she does it like when she's not around the dog. So we had her checked out and they were like, yeah, they could see like mucus and stuff still just kind of dripping. So sorry to be so graphic. It's just that time of year. So yeah, I just figured I would take a couple weeks, I did do a podcast was it last night? No. What night is it? What day is it? Wednesday? Yeah, it was Monday night. So 2 nights ago. So I did a friend's podcast. His name's Chris Curran, and his show is called Between the Lines. So check that out. He interviews people every week. So he interviewed me. We talked about like high school football. We played football together, and he ended up going on to play baseball in the majors. I didn't realize he had a World Series ring. We're talking about the high school Super Bowl rings, and he's, telling a story about how he got rid of his high school Super Bowl ring. And I have two because I played junior year and senior year. He didn't play senior year. And so we're talking about that, and then he's like, yeah, but I ended up getting a World Series ring with the Washington Nationals. I was like, well, that's way better. Way better than a high school Super Bowl ring. Like, are you shitting me? Like, it's like, I'll trade you. So that was pretty funny. So yeah, that podcast, I don't know when it'll be out, but I'll promote it once it comes out. I don't think it's going to be, he like backlogs them, so it shouldn't be coming out. I don't think it'll come out right away, but I might be wrong. I don't know. So yeah, Christmas came and went. New Year's, we ended up doing Christmas Eve at my house. We normally go to my cousin's house, but she was like, it just might be easier this year to go to your house. It was all right. I mean, I put way too much work on myself, so like I was just really busy and had to do a bunch of shit. But I made what the fuck were they? Chicken Alfredo egg rolls. I couldn't fucking remember the order of operations there for a second. Chicken Alfredo egg rolls that came out really good. All I did was I just made it from the scratch. You know what I mean? I bought like the sauce. I cheated a little bit, but normally I would make the sauce and then make it into it. But I just didn't have time because I had a bunch of shit going on. So I bought the Rouse one. The Rouse sauce is actually pretty good. It's not bad. So I bought that. And, just basically boiled the chicken and made it into like a dip. So it was like, it had, a thicker consistency. So I mixed in like some Parmesan cheese to kind of hold it together. And then I put once I did the egg roll wrappers, I put like shredded mozzarella cheese like on the egg roll, and then put the plop of the chicken Alfredo mix on top with like broccoli too. So I cooked up some broccoli, put that in there, and it came out really fucking good. Like we ate them all, and then there was only a few left over. There was probably like, I don't remember how many left over. There was like, I'm not going to count the egg rolls right now, but there were fucking a few left over. So we ate them the next day. Then I ate them like the day after that too. They were so good. So I'll definitely have to make those again. But yeah, it was good Christmas. The girls had a good Christmas. My in-laws came in from out of town. So we had them here. And then, yeah, we played this game that I saw online where you have to get like roll a can down the table. And then like you put tape to mark off each section. And so each section had a prize. So because we were doing it at our house, like we usually do it at my cousin's house, and her kids are a little bit older now. Like they're just barely, like one's just barely a teenager, I think. And the other one's like 9 or 10. I can't remember. I'm really bad at knowing how old kids are. But they're a little bit older than my kids. You know what I mean? If I bring my kids there, they'll find shit to entertain themselves. Like when you come here, they can't just like go to their room or whatever. Like, they don't have their shit here. You know what I mean? So like they're going to be a little bit more bored. So I was like, all right, we'll do this game so it's more fun for them. And I got some cool prizes. One was like a $20 Target gift card. That was like the big prize. And then like the older kids are into Stranger Things right now. So I did a couple like little Stranger Things keychain things that I found that were like the last of the Stranger Things things at the store. It's crazy. Couldn't find Stranger Things shit anywhere. My cousin was like, she was like, yeah, my kids are really into Stranger Things. If you can find the Will Byers Funko Pop. And Will's like one of the goofiest characters on the show, but he does something cool at the end of the one of the shows. I watched Stranger Things, so I know a little bit about it. But he was a fucking dork. I mean, it still is a dork at the end of the show, but he's like one of the dorkiest characters. You know what I mean? And so he does this like fucking cool shit or whatever. He's like a one cool scene, and then all of a sudden like all his shit is sold out everywhere. Like I'm trying to find this fucking thing. She's like, yeah, I can't find Will Byers anywhere. So I'm looking all over the place. So I went to the mall because we had to like, my in-laws were in town, so they watched the kids while we went shopping. So we had to like do, it's pretty hard to go shopping. If you've ever brought your kids Christmas shopping, it's really fucking hard to do. Because you're trying to like, shop for other people, not them, obviously. But then you see stuff, you're like, oh, this would be good for the kids. So we put some shit in the cart like a couple times and had to take it out because we, it would like, we'd hide it and then it would like just gradually drift out. My kid would see like the corner and be like, what's this? And we'd be like, oh, that got in there. We don't know how that got in there. Put it back. Like, so they came and watched they were here staying a couple days. So we went to the mall while they were here. So that was nice. And so I found a spot with like some Stranger Things Funko Pop, and I called my cousin to see like which ones she wanted or whatever. And so I ended up picking up the little sister, and still couldn't find this fucking dork Will. Looking everywhere for this stupid fucking bowl cut having motherfucker. He looked like Shemp. No, not Shemp. Mo was the one with the bowl cut. Shemp had his stupid slick back hair. Sorry, Three Stooges. But anyway, look at all the different stores. Like the Stranger Things, this stuff is sold out everywhere. And I mean, it's pretty close to Christmas at this point. Like I was planning on going Christmas shopping the weekend my mom died. And then obviously I didn't go Christmas shopping. So then it just got pushed like way back. So we kind of did it almost last minute. So I was surprised. Like it wasn't last minute, but it was like the 21st, 22nd maybe. So it was like pretty close to the last minute. And then we just kind of walked around, and I would just, anytime I would find like cheaper, cool things that I thought like the older kids would like, I grabbed them for prizes. And so we had a decent amount of stuff to give out as prizes. So they, everybody kind of enjoyed the game, and everybody kind of got what the prize that was geared towards them. You know what I mean? Like the oldest kid got the gift card. And then the girl who likes Stranger Things, my girl cousin who likes Stranger Things, she got like she got one of the Stranger Things, or I think, or my kid switched her for something because she wanted what she had and she wanted what she had. So they switched. So we tried to do like an element of like Yankee swap to it. Yeah, so that was fun. We did that. I forgot. Oh, I was trying to finish talking about the mall. So I went to the mall, and so I'm looking around for prizes and stuff. And so they had these prints. This guy was selling prints. They were like movie prints, like, they're made to look retro and cool, but they were cool. They weren't that expensive. It was like $20, I think, for 3. And so we were like, all right, we're going to get ourselves one, get one for a prize, and then get like one as just, I forget what we were going to do with it. Get one as a gift, I think. So we, spend a bunch of time looking through the shit. We finally find them, pick out 3. We go to pay. The guy's like, "Oh, I don't take debit, but there's an ATM across in that place across this, like not across the street, but across the way in the mall." He's one of those guys in the center. I'm like, how the fuck do you not have a card machine, like Venmo, nothing? So I was like, all right. He's like, yeah, I can hold them for you if you're gonna come back. I was like, oh no, I'm good. And then we just left. But I'm like, I thought about it afterwards. I was like, I should have just got him. But at the same time, I was like, I got to teach this guy a lesson about fucking coming into the 21st century. Like, people have cards, dude. Like, I'm not fucking carrying cash right now. I had no cash on me. I usually have cash. I had no cash on me. I had just used up like the last of my cash from that we found in my mom's house. So I'm like, I just didn't have any cash on me for the guy. So the mall wasn't that crazy. It was whatever. We got our shit done, kept it moving. And then I went to GameStop because I was like, oh, I'll get, I wanted to get the Bluey game for my kids because I try to keep them interested in video games. So I bought the Bluey game, and then I was like, oh, I'll get my wife a game because I got her Animal Crossing for her birthday. So I was like, I'll get her another game that like we could try to play together. And so I got her Pikmin, but it was like Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2. Because I played, I think, Pikmin 3, and I was like, oh, this is fun. Like, I think my wife, Amy, would like that. And, but we tried to play it. I think we had a couple drinks, or I can't remember. Maybe I got some mushroom bars for Christmas, so I can't remember. It might have been it must have been after Christmas. So I think no, it wasn't. I didn't hang out with my wife the night I had the mushroom bars. So I must have just had a few drinks, and we were trying to play Pikmin 1 on the Switch, and we had no fucking idea what we were doing. We had no idea how to play. So I have to watch some videos on how to play, because I remember playing and having it be fun. But I went to try to play it with my wife, and she must have been drunk too, because we both just immediately like lost interest. But I remember playing it and being like, this is a fun ass game. So I got to go back and like take another look at it. But it was bullshit. They were selling them, and the guy was like, oh yeah, these are brand new, but because they're the display model, they're not sealed, and these are the only 2 we have left. I was like, oh, does that come with like a discount? He's like, no, it's the same price. I was like, all right, we'll just give them to me. But it should be fucking discounted if it's open. You know what I mean? It should be at least like $1 off. So he's like, no. But the used one was only like $1 less for the Bluey game, which my oldest daughter likes the Bluey game. My youngest tries to play it. She's too young though. But my oldest actually, like, she's got a continue game, but she's like, I want to play from the beginning or something so I can find the things again. I'm like, well, you got to finish the game She wants to start a new game every time. But I'm like, no, you just continue it. It's because, you can save your game and you collect all the things in the house, and they become stickers in your book. So she really likes it because it's easy enough for her to just, run around. There's not really any confrontation. There's like mini games. You can go to different places once you unlock them. So she's like learning about how to play the game. And there's 4 players, so we got to get more controls and we can play like all of us together. We haven't played it like that yet. I don't know why we haven't played it like that yet. But it's usually because one of us is cooking dinner while the kids are playing video games, because it's like their TV time. They can do TV or they can play video games. Yeah. So Christmas was good. I got a couple of like adjustable weights. I haven't used them yet. I used the weight bench I got for my birthday, but I had to take some time off of working out too. I just I couldn't breathe for a little bit. Like I had some shit in my chest. It was like just finally cleared up. And like it was just like going upside down or doing anything like that. It was just not working for me. Plus I was not really motivated to work out. So it was like a bunch of different factors, It's been cold. I hate the end of Christmas and New Year's, because then it's just like, all right, well, we still have like 3 months of winter left. So and then there's been no sales really at all. I actually went to Savers today. I went to fucking Savers. I had a bag of stuff that I was like, you know what? I'll just donate, because we're doing our Whatnot show tonight. And we're doing plush. And I have a ton of plush that I got for free. And so I was like, I'll just go to Savers, get a 20% coupon and see. Because this Savers always has a lot of plush. Like if you don't go for a couple days, like the plush kind of adds up there. I don't think people really buy a ton of plush there. So I went there and I got like a jumbo Squishmallow for like, they had the pricing there was crazy. So they had like the jumbo Squishmallow for $4, right? It's this big one. It's like a rare one. There's none listed. There was one sold for $100. And so like they had that for $4, but then they had like the little bags. There was like one little bag one. It was like an anime character. I don't even know which anime character it is, but they had that one for like $12. And so like the only reason I bought those ones is because I'm like, all right, I'm getting everything. I got all the other stuff for this auction for free. So I'm like, this is like the most, I think I paid $90. I got my kid, it was like $95 altogether. And I got my kid something for like $6. So it was like, I paid like $90 for all these stuffies, but I got a ton of stuff. Like I filled the cart. And then they had a jumbo gizmo, which I think is like Namco or something like that, but it's like a big prize one. But still, like I think I sold the small gizmo for like $15-20. And so this one I'll probably get a decent amount for. But it was giant. It still had the tag. Like I think they had that one for $4 or $5. I couldn't believe it. But like the small little bags of random, they had like a little Peppa Pig with 3 little Peppa Pigs in it for like $6. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Who's pricing these things? And then in the back, when I went to go drop off my donation, I could see they had a Kirby. It's like a plush Kirby with the Link hat. I was like, man, that would be cool just to have. So I asked one of the workers. I was like, there's a plush back there. I was like, I want to buy it while I'm here. Is it like possible to do that? He went and checked with his boss, and she was like, no, it has to be weighed and then put out on the floor. I'm like, I fucking hate these places. It's like, just fucking go back there, weigh it, and like fucking sell it to me. You know what I mean? It would have taken you 5 minutes. I just bought a ton of plush. I spent $100 almost on plush. Just go get one more so we can make it an even hundo, baby. But she didn't want to do it. So they were like, yeah, you can come back. So I might have my wife stop in there today after work to see if they put it out, because I grabbed a lot of plush. So we're doing a plush auction tonight at 8:30. This will go out today. I'm going to put it out shortly. So I think there's somebody that's like I'm talking to, and they posted that they had like a video game lot. So they had a weird ass name. So I said I could come right there. I'm like, Attleboro. Sorry, I'm like reading them. And so, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a scam. Like, I was waiting for them to be like, where's the money, whatever, or Venmo me money. But I can't really tell. Like, it looks like one of those too good to be true. It was like a Nintendo 64 lot. So they were like, yeah, when can you come? I was like, I can be there like in a couple hours. Unfortunately, I got to pick up my kid. And they took like 2 days from the last person or whatever. So I'm like, all right, this is probably a scam. So I was going back and forth with them. I'm like, all right, where would you like me to meet you? And no response. So I don't think I'm getting a banging N64 lot. My guess is that it was probably a scam. But anyway, so yeah, Savers today. There was no sales this past weekend. I bid on a couple storage units, but they all went way too high for me. Yeah, trying to find storage units in this area, like people just pay way too much. There was one, it was a lot, or it was a locker with like, there's a bunch of shoes and stuff, but you could see on the box that they were size 4, which, size 4, like they're smaller shoes. So I was looking them up, and some of them sold for some good money, but it was at like $700 and something when I last looked. There was a safe in there and a couple like bins, but it's like, you're really still gambling even with all the shoes that are in there. And, there was another unit that I was bidding on. You could kind of see there was like enough money to justify. It was at like 400 it was like 420 when I last was looking at it. And I was going to bid, like, I think I bid up to like 470. And I was like, I can't. I think it ended at like 510, which is like, not a bad amount, but it was just, it didn't look like there was enough stuff to justify. Like, there was a few items that you would have made some of that money back on, because you could see some good stuff in there, but it just didn't look like there was enough space to have like, any like secrets or surprises. Do you know what I mean? I think it was kind of like what you see is what you're going to get. So I didn't feel like dropping 500 to, make my money back. So it's hard to buy storage units right now. It might have to wait until the summertime. You know what I mean? Like once it gets closer to yard sale season, I'm hoping. But, we've got a ton of inventory. My mom obviously passed away, left her whole house. So we are doing a whatnot next Wednesday of essential oils. She had so many fucking essential oils. It's crazy. My mom was like kind of a hoarder. It's crazy because I'm going through her, being on the other side of an estate sale. Like I've done an estate sale for my godmother whose parents passed away. But that was an estate sale for somebody else. I've done an estate sale, like a living estate sale for my wife's grandma who was like downsizing because she was moving into assisted living. She's like 102. Shout out to grandma's genes. Hopefully my kids get those genes. So yeah, we're going to be having to do some sort of estate sale. So I'm kind of breaking it up into, she's had like a little collection of pelicans, like a shitload of fucking pelican things, like figurines. And so I'm just going to do a sale with those. Those are going to be pelicans, like figurines, artwork, all types of shit. So, and then once we get through that stuff, I'm going to probably try to figure out the next step. Cause I already put a bunch of my shows up on Whatnot just to make it easy. And then I'm just going to go in and edit them as we figure out what we're doing. But we're going to have a ton, like we are probably going to do an estate sale, just walking through the house and like bidding on stuff. Because she had so much shit. It wasn't like a ton of stuff because we downsized before, like 5 years ago, we moved into this house, or 6 years ago now. Yeah, 6 years ago. So we had already kind of downsized. So now we still have a ton of shit. Like, she had a ton of shirts that were damn near brand new, like old lady shirts. So I don't know if there's a market for that on Whatnot, but they're all the same brand. She used to order her shit like online, so I don't know, or not even online. It was like a booklet that would come to the house. It's Land's End, I think, is what the name of it was. And so yeah, we've got a ton of stuff. So eventually we'll do an estate sale like inside the house. But yeah, we got to clear out some stuff. We gave her cat up for adoption because my wife's allergic, and you know, I got crazy emotional about it. I didn't even it wasn't until it happened. Like, I'd kind of been putting it off for a while, but I'm like, I feel bad. This poor fucking cat's next door. Like, we live on the same property, so I just was going next door to check on him. And like, at first I was bringing the girls over, but then I'm like, I don't want to get these fucking kids attached and then, think that we're keeping this cat. And then I didn't want to get more attached to it because I was going over sitting with him. So then I just like would casually go in, feed him, say what's up really quick, and like leave. So I was like, that's not a life for that cat. So I was like, I felt really bad. So I was like, all right, I just got to get somebody to take this cat. So I've been talking with this lady who runs a rescue. So she like vets people and this, that, and the other. And so it was somebody my cousin knows. So they were doing it as kind of like a favor to my cousin and to me. And so she kept checking in, and finally she was like, yeah, I have somebody, blah, blah, blah. And so this lady came, picked up the cat, and like, I couldn't get him to come out when she was in the house, and I had already bagged up all the stuff. So I was like, oh, so she was like lightweight, like not trying to dip out, but I think she could tell that I was like, going through it a little bit. So I just brought the stuff out, and I was like, all right, let me go try to get him into the cat carrier, like while you're out here, So I went in, I fucking got him to come out. He like came out to me. I picked him up and I just started like fucking crying right there. Put him in the carrier, got myself together enough to where I like probably didn't look like I was a sobbing mess, So I brought the cat out and I, made sure she like got him strapped in, whatever. Said bye and left. And I did not want that fucking like, I told my mom when she was alive, I'm like, if anything ever happens, I'm not keeping that cat. Like, I let her know, like, and it's nothing against the cat. He's a cool cat. It's just the shit that comes with having a cat. Like, I went to clean, like, so after the lady drove away and I walked into my house and I just started I was like bawling at this point. I walked in and my wife saw me and she's like, oh no, did we make the wrong choice by getting rid of this cat? I was like, no, like, no, I wanted to get rid of that fucking cat. Like, I was ready to get rid of that cat. 100%. It was just, it was an emotional thing. It was, I just lost it. So I went, after that, I sat down and played some Helldivers, killed some fucking bugs and shit, and I was good. But, yeah, it was, I'm glad that shit all went away. Like any desire to keep that cat went away the next day when I was cleaning up the fucking litter box after he left. Cause we got to get rid of the litter box and clean out from with all the cat stuff. And so, yeah, it was just after that, I was like, all right, this is fucking gross. Like, I'm glad I don't have to do this ever again. So my kid's been like, we told my youngest, because my oldest doesn't care. She's like, I don't even think she wants the dog. My oldest is like, get that fucking dog away from me. Like, if my oldest was like, can we get rid of the dog? I'd be like, yeah, we'll get rid of the dog. Like, I love my kid, obviously, but so that she would come first, 100%. If she was like, I don't want this dog anymore, I'd be like, all right, sorry. I mean, my youngest would have to just live with it. You know what I mean? Because it's not like that she wouldn't like the dog, but it's just kind of weird getting your dead Gigi's dog. You know what I mean? So I kind of get it. And also it's, it was a dog that she didn't see often. Hold on, my kid's calling me. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Sorry. I had to clean up a shit diaper. So, fatherhood. So anyway, yeah. Gonna do estate sales through Whatnot, and then eventually in person. I'm gonna let some of my family go through some stuff or put some stuff aside. But yeah, we're just trying to clear it out because it's gonna add some more space to our house. Essentially, it's like our house is connected to where my mom lived, and there used to be a doorway through each side with like a walkway to get to the other side of the house. But they closed it up when there's two different people living there. So like, one side's treated as its own side. And then, so we're going to open it up essentially. And then we'll have the whole house. So we're going to have to figure out the extra space now. So we got to clear the house, my mom's stuff out there. And then figure out, what we're going to do as far as how we're going to separate the space. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be our new living space. So I might actually end up with a place to podcast where I don't have to get it set up every time. I could just leave it set up. Because right now I just pack it up into a bag and fucking pull everything out. So, and then I also, my mom obviously had life insurance and left some money and stuff. So I am going to end up buying a camera to be able to do the podcast, something that I can use easy and that'll make my job easier so I can add video. So that should be coming hopefully soon-ish. January was the time I was going to take to kind of reassess the podcast and see what I need to do. So I'm going to be, going through that stuff. I start school soon. Fucking A. They said I start in 2 weeks. I thought I had more time. I thought I had to March or May. I don't know why I thought I had that much time. So, I've got I actually did not too bad on my last class. Somehow it was both of my classes had me missing assignments that I turned in. One of them I reached out to. This one, it's at this point, I'm I don't even feel like reaching out to you. I got a B-. So I'm whatever. You know what I mean? I should have gotten a higher grade, but they so I was whatever. At this point, it's so late in the term. Because I thought, for some reason I had talked to this teacher about this. So I don't know how it got missed. But so I had emailed this teacher twice too, and I haven't heard back from her about something else. So I doubt if I'm emailing her about this, I'm going to hear back. So if she emails me back, I'll be hey, I also did not miss this assignment. I actually talked to you about that, and I had it submitted because I didn't realize it was the first week assignment. And the format was a little weird as far as what we had to turn in. So I turned in one thing and not the other. But I did both things. And I thought that she could just see it. It was weird. Whatever. So, anyway. Yeah, school starts back up. I'm so thrilled, as you can tell by my demeanor, that I'm fucking excited to go back to school. I finish up in the fall, which is nice. I'm fucking pumped about that. But there's a podcast class. I was do I take the podcast class? I don't think I'm gonna. My nose hairs, man. When you get older, your nose hairs that's the first thing that just keeps fucking growing. I have a little nose hair trimmer. I use it all the time. And I have to pull them out one by one. I used to be able to do it. It fucking hurts now. I'm too much of a pussy now. So yeah. Life has been interesting as of late. Here, I'm trying to see what else I got to talk about. My kid was off for spring break, fucking school vacation, Christmas vacation, whatever the fuck you're calling it. And they were actually weren't they were kind of fighting a lot. So they weren't bad, but it was I had good days and bad days. There was days when I was so sick too. Just on top of everything that I was I couldn't. So it was a lot of extended TV time, which I don't feel the proudest about. But then it was there was events going on, and it was do we even want to do this because we're just getting over being sick. So our friend had a Christmas party after Christmas. We were pumped to go to that, so we went to that. But there was something at the library I was like, I don't want to go to this thing at the library because I don't want to get sick again. I hate being that parent, but I'm like, I've been sick for so long. You can probably document it on this podcast for how long we've been sick. So I'm just like, I just want it to be done. I've never been sick like this in my life, like where it just doesn't stop. Like there was no like, oh, we got better and then we were sick again. It's just been different degrees of being sick this entire time. My chest is finally not wheezing, so I think I'm finally coming out on the other side. My wife says she's on the other side of it, and she was ahead of us. So I have no idea. My daughter's super congested, so who knows? I just want it to be over. Yeah, I'm ready for yard sales to start up again. Man, I hate dealing with storage units. And yeah, trying to get lucky on Marketplace has not been great. I did really well with those fairy dolls. I think I've updated on those. I sold all those Barbie fairies. I've sold one of the Disney princesses. So those Disney princesses are I put them in a pile with a bunch of other vintage nostalgia crap, and we're gonna do a big vintage whatnot. So I've got a bunch of stuff lined up for whatnot, which is fun. You know, eBay's still been popping, although I have a return today for a pair of shorts, which is crazy. The reason for returning the shorts, there's a brand new pair of shorts. I hope they didn't fucking take anything off of it. But their reason for returning it was I changed my mind. Like, all right, I mean, at least you were honest and didn't try to say some bullshit. But if the tags are taken off, like, I'm going to be fucking pissed. And they are ugly as fuck shorts. I got like a bunch of these shorts and pants from this lady. I was driving home from yard sales, and this lady was just setting up her yard sale. She must have been selling like her ex-boyfriend's shit or something. But she was selling it for low prices. But it was like brands like Jordan Craig and like Barabalos or something like that. Like it looked like shit like Cape Verdeans or something would wear. If I'm being honest with you. And if you don't know who Cape Verdeans are, you look it up. Yeah, it just, you know, all nice shit, but just like, you know, definitely a specific type of person is going to be wearing these clothes. And a lot of it was brand new. So these shorts were brand new with tags. And they just were like, I just changed my mind. I'm like, all right. But I got a bunch of it. I sold only like 2 of the things from that lady. So, yeah, those things have been sitting. But eBay's been doing all right. I was really bad about listing stuff. I was just like, you know, I spent a lot of time on the phone, obviously calling accounts and dealing with all my mom's shit, hunting shit down, and, you know. So I was just, you know, the energy to do a podcast and to do that type of shit just wasn't there. So yeah, I forget where I was going with that. Anyway, let me see what else I got here. Yeah, I did go to one storage unit, like in-person one, and there was a few units, but they weren't like, it wasn't anything I really wanted. So those ones are like hit or miss, and sometimes, you know, I miss it when I first started going. There was nobody there. There was like, you know, maybe 5 people, and now there's a bunch of people. Most of them don't buy. Like I've gone a bunch of times and never bid. I finally bid for the first time and didn't win the unit. But like, it's just annoying with those ones in person because they want cash up front, which is fine. But they're like, you can't, like, you just have to go with a ton of cash. And it's like, it's almost not worth it. Like every time I take out a ton of cash to go there, I just end up having to go put the fucking cash back into my account because I'm like, what? I'm not just going to walk around with like a fucking $1,000 in cash. But I took out like 400 being like, all right, this should be good. And they have a cleaning deposit of 100, most of them, which is like, I'm fucking here right now. Like, you know, I understand why you do the cleaning deposit, but it's like, that's $100 right there. And then you have to pay like whatever the taxes are. So that's like, so of your, $400, you have like two something to spend. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of be picky and choosy about which units you get. But a lot of times there are units that you can get for like under $100. But when there's that many people, it's like, most people are going to try to jump on it. So it is what it is. And there's a lot of like gambling to it. I mean, people just pay so much money for some of these units. It's like, it's not even worth it. I know it is sometimes, but who knows? So maybe I'll take a bunch of my money that I get back from my mom, fucking just buy one crazy storage unit. Just be like, all right, we're going to bid like $20,000 on a storage unit and see how it goes. It'd be a crazy YouTube video, but I would not be able to figure out how to do it. You know what I mean? I'm sure I could figure it out. Anyway, what else do I got? Oh yeah, so I have to like plan, like, my mom wanted like a celebration of life type thing. So I have to plan that. And I really I want to get a DJ that like, that will dress like a DJ, have all the vernacular, like get crazy hyped and then just put on like a super sad song. And just have them do that for like a half hour to 45 minutes as people start getting there. I really want to do that. I think that would be really funny. You know what I mean? Like, DJ Sad Sack, and just have him talk like a hype man, like do the horns like woo, and then like almost like a stripper, like a DJ at a strip club. Like that type of energy, but then just play like Ave Maria and like taps. Oh man, that Cat Stevens song about his dad. So I think I really think I'm going to try to do that. See if I could make that happen. Obviously I can't have that for the whole time because it'll just be like ridiculous. They can become a regular DJ at a certain point, but I think it'll be funny to start it with that. You know what I mean? Just like, because there's gonna be old people there who are like, what the fuck is going on? And then he'll put on like, one of the saddest songs you've ever heard about somebody's dead mom or something. So I just think that'll be funny. So if you know a DJ and you're local to Massachusetts, a DJ who would be willing to do that, let me know, because that'll be fucking funny. So I said this, mentioned it briefly earlier, but I don't know if I should say who got them for me. Somebody gave me mushrooms for Christmas, and what the heck? And yeah, they're pretty fucking good. So I did like 2 of them. I was watching football with my neighbor, and I did like 2, which was not the best place to do it. But I didn't really feel it that time. Went home and just listened to hip hop in the basement, all sad and shit on mushrooms. It was a nice little session, And then a couple days later, it was like New Year's, and we had some friends coming over. So I was like, oh, I'll take another 2. But then I was like, you know what? I just did 2. I'll do 4 just to see, how it goes. So I brought out 4, and my buddy took like 1 or 2 from me. I can't remember how I took 4. I took 4 that time and 2 the time before. When I took 4 this time, I was like, I haven't had visuals like that in a long time. I was like seeing colors like the entire, because I had, my kids have their artwork all over the place. And then like all their toys and shit are like colorful. And then like I have artwork, like I have this Wu-Tang. If you watch the Whatnot, you see like the artwork in the background. But I have this Wu-Tang artwork on the back. And so like everything was just like the colors were crazy vibrant. And my buddy was sitting across from me, and everybody had like almost like a black outline around them. Not like in like a sinister way, but like almost like a cartoon way. You know what I mean? Like they were like it was weird. Like my perception, my depth perception or some shit was like off. So it looked like they were on like a green screen, but also like that they were like a cartoon kind of, but not like cartoony. You know what I mean? It was like weird visuals. I haven't had visuals like this for mushrooms like ever. It was crazy. It was an interesting fucking trip. And then I went to the bathroom, and like I know when I'm on mushrooms because I go into the bathroom and my bathroom feels like fucking Pee-wee's Playhouse because our bathrooms are so bad. Like we need to redo both of our bathrooms. All of our paint needs to be redone in this house. Like our house is definitely a work in progress. It just takes forever to do everything because you got to do like one project a year. Otherwise, you just like you'll have no money. And so the bathroom, I walk into the bathroom and I'm like, dude, it's like fucking Pee-wee's Playhouse in here. I'm like expecting the toilet to start talking to me, like the fucking like Mr. Pee-pee or whatever the fuck his name is from Look Who's Talking. I think it was Look Who's Talking too. But yeah, and so like I knew that I was done tripping because when I went into the bathroom and it was just like a regular dirty bathroom, I was like, oh, okay. Like every time I went to the bathroom, I was like, oh fuck yeah, dude, this is like a party in here. And then I would come out and be like, oh shit, everything's colorful. And then we were outside. My buddy was smoking Black and Milds. We were outside and we heard some. It was probably a deer. You know what I mean? But it was like it sounded like people walking, and you could hear just the crunch of the ice. But where I live, it's like the marsh. You know what I mean? Like it's just wetlands behind me, so you have to like swim up. You know what I mean? So it's like something that lives out in these like the marshland or passing through. But it was like, you know, you could never tell. Like I'll be outside and I'll hear what I think is people in the fucking woods. And I'll look up, it's just two squirrels like fucking running around. But it was obviously it's probably like 10:30, 11 at night. And you just hear something walking out there. And I was on mushrooms. He had a little bit of he had like I think a square. I had 4. So I had 4 times the amount that he had. And yeah, so then I threw one of my kids like little plastic car thingies or bikes to make a noise to scare it, and my buddy was freaking out. But we never saw it. It stopped moving, and that was it. Why does this thing keep freezing? Hold on. Oh, there we go. My monitor's like trying to keep an eye on my kid. What is she standing on? Oh, she's standing on toys. Fucking weirdo. Like she's standing on something. So yeah, we did a bunch of Christmas movies. I watched a lot of Christmas movies I hadn't seen. We did Violent Night and Red One. So we did a couple action ones. I liked Violent Night. That was good. The acting in the beginning was a little but it was good. I thought it was finished off well. And like Red One was, it was a fun action movie. I'm trying to think if we watched any others. We watched that one with Michelle Pfeiffer about like the moms not getting appreciated on Christmas or some bullshit. I bought the night before. I thought I bought it last year. Every year I'm like, I swear I buy these movies. And so I bought The Night Before with Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Anthony Mackie. And yeah, that one's funny. That's a good one. So we watched that. I'm trying to think what else we watched. We watched a bunch of Christmas shit. Black Christmas on Christmas Eve. So that was fun. And then we wrapped a ton of shit on Christmas Eve. So my mom had a closet full of like, we know some of it was for the girls for Christmas, but like we just were guessing, you know what I mean? There was a ton of shit. So some of it we just put to the side, and we were like, they don't need all of this shit. Because we don't even know if this is for them, like if she bought this for other people, like what this is. So she bought so much shit. So we had to go through all that stuff. And but yeah, I had like one eggnog. I had an eggnog one night, and then on Christmas Eve I had an eggnog, and I felt like I was gonna fucking puke. I was like, oh, I might be done with eggnog for good. We always end up throwing most of it away because I always only have like the giant thing of it at the store we go to. So we get one, my wife has one, I'll have one or two, and then that's it. Nobody ever wants it when we have it. So occasionally our neighbors will come over, but they usually are like, oh, we just had an eggnog. So like, fuck, why don't we just go in on one thing of eggnog? Just have a communal eggnog for the neighborhood and pass it along. So yeah, let me see what else I got to talk about. I go about 10 more minutes and we'll get a full fucking hour. So I can't remember what the last one I did. Oh, so we went to this thing. So like it was like the Sunday after my mom died. There was this, what is it called? It was like a holiday stroll. So like the town next door to us, in the little center of town, they could shut it down, like shut down the streets. And they have they have like an open carry thing for, not for guns, but for liquor. You can like openly carry liquor and shit in this small area, I think, or all over the town. I can't remember. And so they were passing out ciders, alcoholic ciders, and hot chocolate. I've been drinking more than I obviously should be, and more than I usually do. The holidays always, end up drinking a little bit more, but like obviously this year I drank a little bit more. But I'm not like I'm not like one of those people that's like, oh, I'm gonna fucking drink to forget. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of like, all right, I'll have like one or two, just so I'm not like being a fucking sad sack. You know what I mean? But I'm not like, let me drown my sorrows. And it wasn't like every day, you know what I mean? It was like a couple days, but more than I should. And more than I'd like to, is what I should say. But anyway, they were doing these, spiked hot chocolates, and so we walked around there. That's always a good time, but it was so fucking cold. It wasn't bad when we got there, but then it started as it started getting colder, it ended up being freezing. My kid was like crying. She was so cold. I'm like, dude, you got to toughen up. Fucking crying because it's cold. What are you, your fucking mother? Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. So I had to like race back to the car with this one because she's fucking crying. Her tears are stinging because it's so cold. It wasn't that cold. It was pretty fucking cold, but it was like the end of the day. She was already emotional because her fucking grandma died the day before. Her fucking pussy. I'm kidding. So yeah, we like fucking booked it back to the car. But while we were out hanging out before it got too cold, there was like this reindeer who was taking pictures with the kids. And I was like, dude, as soon as I saw this reindeer, it was like another one of those Easter Bunny situations where I was like, oh, that's a black teenager. Like, you could tell by his posture. And this time there was like a lady who was with him taking pictures for people. And she was like a black reindeer. She was a black lady. But she was an elf. You know what I mean? So she was a black lady elf. Sorry. That was a long road to get there. You understood what I was saying. So they were together, I think. So I don't know if it was like a black teenager or just a black guy. But it was definitely a black Rudolph. It was like... it was just... And we saw the picture because my kid was... they were doing face painting and my daughter got like the cutest fucking Rudolph on her face. Like they put it right on her face so she looked like a little Rudolph. And so she wanted to take a picture with Rudolph, but she didn't want to like get too close to him. So like the picture is her standing next to him, and you can just tell by the posture. You're just like, yeah, that's definitely a black guy. Every time you could tell. It's funny. It's just a funny, like, it's not like a racist thing. It's just you could tell. You're like, oh, you're definitely a black guy. That should be a game show. Like they do Masked Singer. They should just be like, guess the race of who this mascot is by the way that they're standing. Because I'd be able to do it every time. You know what I mean? It doesn't just work for black people. You do Asian, you could do Hispanic. Guarantee I would get them all. Anyway, we're gonna move on. I think that was honestly the last thing I have to talk about. Yeah, I'll wrap it up here just because otherwise I'm going to stretch it out for 5 minutes and it's just going to not be good. So tonight, if you're listening today and when the episode comes out, we're doing a whatnot tonight with stuffed animals, plush, whatever you want to call it. We've got a shit ton. We're going to start dollar starts on a lot of them. There'll be a couple of them in the buy it now, but I think it'll be dollar starts on everything. And when I say I bought a shitload, like I filled the fucking cart of plush, like smaller ones and medium, and then there's a couple big ass ones. So come hang out tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, so 5:30 Pacific, I think. I don't know. I'm not gonna go through all the time zones. Follow me on Instagram at Perry Flips with a Z, and then what the hell was I gonna say? Yeah, and just make sure to check out the whatnot because we are going to be doing a bunch of stuff. We're going to have a bunch of giveaways coming up. I got stickers too, so I don't know. I might sell some stickers. Not sell some stickers, but we've been doing like sticker giveaways. So I might do a giveaway for the podcast. So I'm trying to get like a giveaway in mind for the 100th episode because that is coming up soon. So, we took 2 weeks off, so it's going to take us 2 weeks longer to get to the 100th episode. I think this is 91 or 92. I can't remember. And then just keep an eye out for that episode of Between the Lines with Chris Curran. That podcast will be, so I got to do an interview, so that'll be fun. Check that out. It's not just me rambling. I do ramble a lot on it and tell some stories, but we talked for almost 2 hours, so I think it was a good one. I don't know if that was good or bad. But anyway, this is the podcast. If you like this one, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification so you get notified every time this show comes out. But it's usually every Wednesday. And again, Flips and Giggles on eBay and whatnot. And again, check us out tonight and bookmark all our shows because we're going to be doing a bunch of estate sale stuff. So yeah, thank you again. And I'm sorry the last episode was so sad. And then I just kind of left you hanging for 2 weeks. Everybody's like, what the fuck happened to this guy? He just did the saddest episode of the podcast. Did he just end the podcast? No, I didn't end the podcast. I just took some time and I'm terrible at communication and I was just overwhelmed. So it's good to be back doing the podcast, doing the whatnot, being overwhelmed for a different reason. Real quick, I did want to say real quick. So I got Magic the Gathering cards a couple weeks ago. From that trans lady fellow. I can't remember. I can't even remember at this point. It was so long ago. Anyway, they're very nice. And they gave me like a shitload of Magic cards for like $50. So I was going through them, and it's mostly like base cards, but there's thousands of them. So, I'm going to make enough money just based on bulk alone. But I was going through and I found a box and it was like a bunch of old Topps Pokemon cards. So like the ones from Topps, and they were all in pretty good shape. A couple of them were but there was a shitload of those. And then there was some of like the little holographic cards, which, like maybe $20-$30 for that little lot. But then there were some packages from like the base set, the fossil set, the jungle set, like the actual cellophane wrappers that the cards came in back in the day. So those I looked and, I could sell those for like, probably $50 to $100 for just those because there's a few of them in good shape. So yeah, that was pretty fucking cool. I didn't expect to find that. So shout out to them for hooking it up. And I'll be back again next week for another episode of the Roughly Related to Reselling podcast. Oh, I meant to say, if you want a sticker, you like the show. If you like the show and you hear it here and you want a sticker, message me on Instagram or whatnot or wherever and tell me that you heard the show and that you want a sticker, and I'll get you a Roughly Related to Reselling podcast sticker while supplies last, while I have some in the supply to give away. So thank you again for listening, and I'll be back again next week. Peace.